If you want to know about the 20 things before moving to Jacksonville, you tuned into the right channel. Number one, before you move to Jacksonville, you need to know that Jacksonville is spread out. I mean, this city is so spread out. It's almost like you got 3 or 4 cities in Jacksonville. It's the largest mass area you're going to see in the States. So it's just spread out all over the place. When I first moved here a few years ago, back in the day, about 20 years ago, I'm telling you, I thought I was in like different cities. I was just driving and driving. I started out on the west side. Then I went over, I worked on the south side. So it was probably about 30, 40 minutes away, but it just seemed like a total another city. So just know that it's very, very spread out. And that leads me into number two. You're definitely going to need to have some transportation. I highly, highly recommend you get some transportation. The bus system isn't the best. It's very, mediocre, average. So you're going to need some type of car. I would probably suggest, something, if you're just getting started working or something, maybe something that's really fuel economy, kind of a good economic car just for gas. But just know that, you're going to need a car. It's just so spread out. You're going to need, good transportation here. And definitely, look at just making sure, your oil's changed and all that, because you're going to spend a lot of money in traveling, because the town is just so spread out. So you definitely need good transportation. Things are not really close together, so just prepare yourself when you come to Jacksonville. I can tell you when my children, when they were old enough to drive, I'm telling you, I made sure they had their license, their permits, and everything. So just something to pay attention to. If you're moving to Jacksonville, just know, as an adult, you're going to really need a car, so just highly, highly recommend that. Number three, daycare also. I think it's expensive in most cities nowadays, but the daycare is expensive. If you have, young kids, just know you're probably going to be looking at $175, $200 a week. I can remember with my youngest daughter, it was very costly. We had a great babysitter, shout out to her, but it just is expensive. So just know that that's a cost that you need to be prepared for. They have tons of daycares here. There's good, services for, children. So, it seems like a lot of people have daycares in their homes, but there's good services, but it's just expensive, as we know. So there's something to pay attention to as you're moving to Jacksonville with, little kiddos. And then also the job opportunities. There's a lot of good job opportunities. Like, if you're coming to Jacksonville to just kind of get started, you know, uh, it's really good for people just trying to get in the market. Maybe you just graduated from college. There's a lot of opportunities. There's a ton of, workplaces where you can go to and they'll just hire you out for a job, day labor, labor pools and things like that. So you can easily, get going with that. So there's a lot of job facilities available downtown, and just to hire you out. Maybe you won't start out full time, but you'll start out part time or whatever, or until you can get on full time. So they have some major companies, of course, Coca-Cola. Publix is big down here. A lot of grocery stores. A lot of medical. The medical is really big here. So a lot of hospitals, it'll be very good for doctors and nurses, the Mayo Clinic, Baptist, there's tons of hospitals here. So it's a city with, for healthcare workers and things of that nature is very good. A lot of startup businesses get started here in Jacksonville as well. Tons of restaurants, mom and pop restaurants, a lot of, medical equipment type companies come here. Amazon is crazy here. We got tons of Amazon. Look like everywhere you turn, every part of time, there's an Amazon. And then the Jaguars, the professional football team, they hire a lot of people, when the season is in. And then, of course, the Florida, Georgia week and leading up to the games, and, downtown with the stadium, a lot of opportunities down there. And it's just a growing city. And so it's just for jobs and stuff, a lot of opportunities. I know a lot of my friends, they work, extra jobs, can always find something to do to work, So if you're willing to work and get at it, you definitely can do that here. So let me keep it moving. So it's a military town. Definitely just know that, it's great for military families. They always have something going on. You have Mayport, so it's a lot of good things down here. Navy bases, so, just know it's a military town, which is really, really good. Shout out to the military. We thank you guys for your service. So if you would subscribe to my channel, I'll take a brief break. Subscribe to my channel. Love it. If you want to know more about moving to Jacksonville, living in Jacksonville, this is what this channel is going to be all about. Just dropping knowledge. Okay. Also, you got the beaches. You got Jacksonville Beach, Neptune Beach, Atlantic Beach. So if you're one that loves the water, you got a lot of places. If you want to fish, you want to do some jet skiing, all of that. So the beaches is here. There's a lot going on down at the beach. Always something going on. Water, just walking the beach. So that's a real draw to this area. So it's just something to pay attention to when moving to Jacksonville. You'll see a lot of like little lakes and, rivers and stuff like that. So, you just want to be careful. The locals here, we know really not to get in that water like that, because, there's a ton of snakes, sometimes I'll be worried about gators here and there. So you just want to pay attention to that when you're moving to Jacksonville. Just don't have the kids just jumping in the water left and right, because you just got to be aware of that, what I'm saying? So when I go swimming, it's in a pool. So just pay attention to that. All right. Also, number 7, we're going to keep it moving. There's a lot of parks, a lot of spaces to, play soccer, throw the football, basketball courts, like I said, fishing holes, just a lot of like green space, so there's a ton of parks. They got parks downtown. One of the ones downtown is the Hemming Plaza. That's really cool. So, definitely check that out. A lot of history down there, so there's parks galore in all sides of town and what have you. Now the downtown, I'm gonna tell you right now, the downtown, I love the downtown. I like the downtown. It's really nice. Always something to do, especially when there's something going on. They have like jazz festivals and, different events from here and there. The international festival they have, I think like the beginning of May. A lot of culture going on down there. You got the stadium, Veterans Memorial, Coliseum down there, the baseball stadium, football stadium, a lot of growth going on down there. But it's not going to be like, your major cities like in Atlanta or, Miami's downtown or, the downtowns like that. So just know that it's not a huge, big thing downtown yet. They're working on that, been working on it for a while. So I just say, it's like in the middle for most people, but, I enjoy going down there. There's, a lot of events down there from time to time. So definitely something to look at. But just, when you're moving here, I think some people coming from the bigger cities and stuff, they may be a little underwhelmed. So just know that, it's the average downtown for most people, so just pay attention to that. Also, you want to know, like downtown, I don't have any problems with it, but just if you're moving here, just know that downtown there's going to be a lot of homeless people down there. What I found is there's a lot of services downtown for the homeless or people who are a little down on their luck. So where the services are, you're going to have people down there, who need those services, so there's shelters and food banks and things like that. And, Jacksonville does a great job of helping those who are homeless. It's almost like if you're down on your luck, a lot of people know, and you're living in the South, come to Jacksonville. So just be aware of that. Most people don't have any problems with that, but you just know, what's going on down there. So that's just something to pay attention to. Another thing, I share with people is that when you're moving to Jacksonville, there's literally a church almost on every corner or storefront, so just know that, and I think that's a good thing. But a lot of times people are surprised. Well, man, I see a church here, I see a church there. So it's some cities you go to, you're like, well, where's the churches at? But this city, Southern City, you're going to see, churches literally on every corner, from the downtown, the suburbs. They'll be in parking lots, like schools, storefronts. So I think it's a good thing. So just know that. Number 11 is Jacksonville is a very affordable city. The cost of living is still very good on average compared to other major cities in in Florida. Jacksonville is very, very good. So compared to like Tampa, Orlando, Miami, what I'm noticing is a lot of people are moving to Jacksonville for the cost of the living, the prices of homes, and things of that nature. So you can definitely make a good living. And also keep in mind, there's no state income tax in Florida. So you get a lot of people moving here. So very affordable city. And I'll be talking about that in some more of my videos. So just pay attention to that. Also, number 12, you got a professional football team, the Jacksonville Jaguars. So if you like sports, football, baseball, hockey, basketball, but we have a professional football team. They have a minor league baseball team. They have a hockey team here, minor league hockey. Then you have indoor football. It seems like there's always something going on. And then with the college teams, there's always basketball games, baseball games. I mean, you name it, name the sport. So it's what I know is a sport town. You see a lot of people on bikes, a lot of joggers. They have the River Run, the world famous River Run downtown every year. Shout out to my river runners. But yeah, there's just a lot of good things outside. So, to do as far as sports is concerned. So that's a good thing to know, and just pay attention to, if that's something you like to do. But, it's really cool. So the traffic, what I can tell you, the Jacksonville traffic is tough. It can be tough. If you don't catch it right, you're going to be in a traffic jam. And by it being so spread out, you just got to know like when to kind of time the traffic. I think really now, usually about from like 3 to 6:30. It's starting earlier with the traffic jams nowadays. So just know there is traffic. Now, it's not going to be like a city like Atlanta, or let's say, nobody's got traffic like Los Angeles, right? Or, these big major cities. Jacksonville, I think, roughly has about 1.2 million in the city and the suburb areas. So, it's not crazy traffic. I'm been around a little bit, so I've seen way more traffic, but you do have to pay attention to it, when you're trying to get across town and things like that. So just know that the traffic can be tough, but if you're moving here and you're used to a bigger city, it's nothing unusual. And I think compared to, like, say, Miami, Orlando, or Tampa, or Atlanta, coming to Jacksonville, it's just like, oh, this is a piece of cake. So it's just something to pay attention to. Also, there's a lot of growth. So I think the biggest thing is they're always working on the roads here in Jacksonville. So a lot of times that slows people down, but they're always like adding, expanding, changing things around. So that slows people down. So that's part of it, I think. So it's just something to pay attention to. And that leads me to number 14. They're constantly building businesses, like new houses and things like that. Jacksonville is experiencing massive growth, which I really love. You just love to see things moving and growing, especially in the city of Jacksonville and the surrounding suburbs. So if you're one that likes that, to see the change and see the growth, you're going to fall in love with the Jacksonville area. So that's just something to just pay attention to. They're constantly building something. You're like, oh, the new store here, new gas station, new construction homes, or whatever it may be, new highway, new school, so it's constant growth. Okay. Number 15, something that, I just keep it real with people. Look, crime is on the uptick. I don't know what it is. I know the pandemic, we're right still in the middle of a pandemic, but there's been more murders this year. A lot of stuff. A lot of it is unsolved. And I don't want to alarm people, but I just really pay attention to that. So just know that Jacksonville is a relatively safe city, right? But it's just a pocket of areas, and it's really all over, more so than other areas, but we'll get into that in more detail in other videos. But it's just something that, I'm one that likes to read the newspaper a little and pay attention to my surroundings a lot. So just know that is on the uptick. We don't know all together what's going on there, but I know the police are strong here and they're working on that. So, we all have to come together on that area. But I just tell people, try to give them the real. So, all right. So we'll just let you know about that. And then, okay, also number 16, switching channels. The weather is amazing year round. You don't have to worry about no snow. In the winter months, maybe December, January, a little bit, February, you may get some freeze in the morning. You get down to 20 for a minute. But by the time you get to like middle of the day, about 12 o'clock, 11 o'clock, you're taking off those clothes. Jacksonville's weather is amazing. Now it can be humid in the summer, and in the spring, but all in all, Jacksonville's weather is phenomenal. I mean, it's December now, almost December. We really haven't had a cold day yet. You know what I'm saying? Like it's shorts weather. Jacksonville's weather is really, I'll put it up against a lot of other cities' weather in this United States. I mean, it is really amazing. So that's something to pay attention to that. Now, what I will say too, speaking of weather, we'll move on to number 17. Hurricanes, it's hurricane season. So it's one of those things that you want to pay attention to that. Watch the news. We got us a generator. Sometimes the lights go out. So just something, as you come here and progressing through and, moving through things, just know that hurricanes do happen. I've been here over about 20 years. There's been, hurricanes come through my side of town. I've been blessed to never been hit, but it has affected people's homes, trees. That's one thing, that wind sometimes knocks down trees. So you just need to know you're in Florida, know there's hurricanes, know there's going to be thunderstorms, there's lightning, you know what I'm saying? So don't play around with that. You know what I'm saying? So, but the good thing about Jacksonville, they give you plenty enough time, plenty enough warnings. You have shelters in place at the schools and, downtown and things like that. So there's always, they prepare really, really well. But I tell people, look, man, hurricanes is real down here. And then number 18, we're close to major cities. We're about 5 hours from Atlanta, about 2.5 hours from Orlando. Daytona Beach is only like 85 miles, right? That's not very far. Then you have Tampa. The Tampa Bay area is huge. And Miami, Fort Lauderdale area, we're not far. So those are like the major cities around here, that's not far. Miami's 5.5 hours. Tampa's maybe 3 hours. You see, Mobile, Alabama, what is it? Maybe 5 hours. So, you're not far from, major cities, so that's really cool to know. Okay. And what I noticed too, 19, there's what's been disturbing to me a little bit is just the trash. It just seems like, certain areas, they just have too much trash, it's, people, little debris here and there and stuff like that. So that's a little nerve-wracking for me, but that's just my little pet peeve. But I see that. I think we need to do better overall as a city, just like picking up behind ourselves, cleaning up areas, just to make it more attractive to people who come here, and things like that. So that's just one of the areas, like I said, I just want to try to keep it real with you. You will see a little litter and you'll be like, man, what's going on here? And things like that. And then with the pandemic too, a lot of times the trash is staying out a little longer and things like that. So just know that you're going to see some of that. And I know the city's working on that, paying attention to that, but that's just something that you need to, keep your eyes open for. I noticed in some of the apartments complexes and things, the garbage is overflowing. So just made, the garbage people, shout out to them. They do an amazing job. They do what they do to help keep the city, those in charge of that. But I just think this city is just growing so much, and with so much going on, that's kind of is not the priority as it should a lot of times. So just pay attention to that. And then lastly, if you're moving here with a family, I think you're gonna love it for your kids. There is tons of stuff to do for the kids, through their school. They're always, because the weather's so nice, so they're always having events to raise money, fundraisers, with all these sport teams and things like that. And these colleges, they always are doing fun, free events. And again, with a ton of churches, their churches are always doing a lot of fun things, a lot of church youth events. So it's a hub for that. You have a lot of concerts and things, and with the Coliseum, and so it's a great place. And again, it's a military town. So just wrapping up here, it's a fun place for families. I think the key thing is to, reach out, hit me up, subscribe to my channel. I'll give you what I know about it. I'm not a native, Jacksonville person, but I've been here for a long time, and, I love the city, so I can help you out with that. Just hit me up with a call, a text, or an email. Subscribe to my channel, and we'll give you more information. But hopefully this was helpful. The 20 things you need to know before moving to Jacksonville. My name is Artie Cox. You take care. We'll talk to you soon.